Hi, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Kears, and I'm really excited to be with you here today for our reading lesson. And we are going to learn about this week, drum roll, nonfiction text. And I'm pretty excited about it. I hope you are too. So now when I'm thinking about nonfiction text, I think about the word fiction. And what does fiction mean, boys and girls? You're right. It means it's fake. It's not real. It's make believe or pretend. So when I'm thinking about the opposite of that, nonfiction text, it must be what? You've got it. Real. Real life things. So let's take a look at some of the slides that I've provided for you for today's lesson. Now, when I'm talking about fiction, I think of characters that are make-believe and they're pretend. So the story is pretend. So I'm thinking of Spider-Man and mermaids and talking dogs and unicorns. Those are all characters that we would find in a fiction text. Now, let's look at the blue slide over here, and we have nonfiction text. And that's when the book gives us information. So it could be about real-life people, places of interest, or things that we learn about in science. So let's take a look at this guy right here. This is a picture, an illustration of Benjamin Franklin. Now, Ben Franklin may not be living anymore, but he was a real life person. He actually was born close by in Boston, Massachusetts, and he's really important to the United States history. So we learn about him in a nonfiction text. We can also learn about scientists and maybe their discoveries. We can learn about the cures that they've created and vaccines that they made against illnesses and to prevent disease. We can also talk about places of interest and think of monuments like the Statue of Liberty in New York City, or Abraham Lincoln's monument in Washington, D.C., or the Eiffel Tower in Paris. Those are all real life things, places we can go to. We can learn about them in nonfiction text. Now, we can also learn about things like in science. When I think of science, I always think about our wonderful teacher, Mrs. Pellizzaro. We can learn about the water cycle. We can learn about the weather patterns and the phases of the moon. We can even learn about ants, and I know you guys did. You guys learned about body parts and their behaviors and where they lived and how they built their homes and their shelter. And you learned about that because you were reading nonfiction text. So you've had a lot of exposure to nonfiction text. We just need to figure out what makes it different than fiction. All right, so now we know characters will be very different. Characters in fiction are made up, not real, but in nonfiction they are. Now, I know you know that grade 1 loves to sing and dance, and although I do like to sing a lot, I thought I'd spare you, and I wanted to let you know that I've shared in today's lesson also a link to a YouTube song that you can look up, and you can just click on, and it might help you learn about nonfiction and fiction. So I thought that I would share a little bit of the song with you to see if you like it, and then you can always click on it for more practice today.
Fiction is pretend, a make-believe creation. Non-fiction is real, it gives us information.
All right, whoa. So, boys and girls, when I think of fiction stories, they are set up differently than a nonfiction text. So in a fictional story, we have characters, right? So we have like Cinderella or like the Frog Prince. And then we think about the setting, like where a story takes place. Did it take place in Neverland or Lawrence? We also think about the plot, what happened first, what happened next, and what happened last at the end of the story. Now, nonfiction text is going to be set up completely different. We're going to explore things like a table of contents and glossary and index. And what is a caption? It's like a little tiny bubble that's underneath a photograph or an illustration that helps describe something. And we're going to learn about charts and diagrams. So these are all things that we don't see in a fiction text, but we do find it in a nonfiction text. So let's take a look at a nonfiction text, boys and girls. But before we do that, I wanted to see if you could guess what animal this is. Okay, enough of that. Do you know what it is? You're right, it's a tiger. All right, so let's take a look and read about this wonderful animal. I think it's kind of fascinating, even though I do get a little scared once in a while. All right. Oh. Sorry, guys. So here we have this story called Tigers, and I have the real book right here in my hands, but I thought it'd be easier for you to see it on the screen. So this is the cover, and it just says Tigers. Now we open the story up, we open the book up, and we have what we call the title page. This is different than a fiction story. So it just gives us the title and the author's name. And our author for today's story of Tigers is Laura Marsh. So now, let's go to the first page. Perfectly big cats. Tigers are big and beautiful animals. They are strong and powerful too. Tigers are the biggest cats in the world. And there's a silly question at the top. It says, on which side does a tiger have the most stripes? Answer, the outside. Ha ha ha. Now, I just wanted to point your attention to right here. It's called a caption. And right here, it just tells us what this animal is. It's a specific type of tiger known as a Bengal tiger, okay? A tiger's home. Tigers live in the forest. They spend a lot of time in the water too. They live in hot places like Indonesia. They live in cold places like Russia. Wow. So some tigers live in hot places and some live in cold places. Interesting. This is known as an Indo-Chinese tiger. On page 7, it says, tigers that live in cold places are bigger than other tigers. They also have thicker fur to keep them warm. This guy is known as a Siberian tiger. Built for hunting. Tigers are fierce hunters. Their bodies are built for catching prey. So here we learn about the coat. Now I know I put on a coat when I'm cold or in the winter time, when I need some protection. So what do you think a tiger's coat could be? His fur and his outer layering. Interesting. A tiger's stripes camouflage, that's a big word. A tiger's stripes camouflage it in tall grass and dry leaves. Its prey may not see the tiger until it's too late. Teeth. 4 large teeth help tigers kill prey quickly. Eyes. A tiger's terrific eyesight helps it hunt at night. Look at those eyes, they're gorgeous. Oops, sorry, I'm jumping around now. I did not mean to do that. So much for playing out the eyes. Oh, we're gonna learn some fun things. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Sorry, guys. Paws, big paws with soft pads help a tiger walk quietly. Sharp claws hook into prey and don't let go. Its tail. A long tail helps a tiger keep its balance when moving quickly. Think about when you're standing on one foot, boys and girls. Sometimes you put your arms out or you try to hold on to something to keep your balance. Well, a tiger's tail helps it do that when it's moving quickly. And its back legs. Big muscles help a tiger dash or leap at its prey. So here it gives us some tiger terms, and camouflage was one of those words. An animal's natural color or form that blends in with what is around it, kind of like a chameleon, how it blends into its environment around it. It changes its color. Well, that's what the tiger's coat is able to do for it in the forest. Prey, and I hope we're not the tiger's prey. An animal that is eaten by another animal. That is known as the prey. Meat eater. Tigers are carnivores, animals that eat meat. Their favorite foods are large, hooved animals such as buffalo, deer, and wild pigs. A hungry tiger can chow down 80 pounds of meat in one meal. That's more than a first grader for sure. That's about 320 hamburgers. Ay, ay, ay. Tiger turf. Besides hunting, tigers spend a lot of time marking their territory. They are not good at sharing. Tigers make long scratch marks on trees. They also rub their faces on trees and leave smelly scents. This tells other tigers to stay away. All right, so another tiger term is known as a territory. And a territory, boys and girls, is an area that an animal protects from other animals. So like our territory would be our classrooms at the Gilmet. Cool cat facts. Check out these neat facts about tigers. Whiskers help a tiger feel its way in the dark. Large paws keep Siberian tigers from sinking in deep snow. No two tigers have exactly the same stripes. I find that so interesting. It's kind of like our fingerprints. No two are the same. Up here, we see tigers can live in temperatures as low as negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit. A tiger's front teeth are 3 inches long. Tigers have much better hearing than humans. And let's see this last fact. Tigers are great swimmers. They are never far from the water. Cubs. So this would tell me that a tiger's babies are known as cubs. A female tiger usually has 2 or 3 cubs at one time. The cubs weigh about 4 pounds at birth. The mother raises the cubs by herself. Male and female tigers come together only to have cubs. Otherwise, adult tigers live alone. So tigers will live by themselves, but they only come together to create their cubs. All right, this is another Bengal tiger. So cute. Now here on page 18, it says, the cubs drink their mother's milk. After 3 or 4 months, they start to eat meat. Tiger cubs play games. They chase, leap, and pounce. They are learning how to be good hunters. When they're 2 years old, young tigers leave their families to find their own territories. So this is a mother Bengal tiger nurses her young. And it looks like these guys are playing or pouncing on each other. Let's see what this question is. What does a tiger say when it meets other animals? Pleased to eat you. Oh my goodness. Not pleased to meet you, pleased to eat you. Oh, thank you. Tiger talents. What do you have for a talent? I knew you were talented. Tigers are full grown when they leave their families. They are big, heavy cats, but they can climb trees and jump great distances. In fact, tigers can leap as far as 30 feet. Whoa. That's as long as 5 adult men lying head to toe. And unlike house cats, tigers are good swimmers. They like to cool off in rivers and pools. All right. The white tiger. The white Bengal tiger is very rare. That means we don't see it a lot. It can't grow orange fur. Its white coat, brown stripes, and icy blue eyes are quite a sight. You won't find a white Bengal tiger in the wild, but you might be able to see one at a zoo. So this tells us it's a white Bengal tiger. Tigers in trouble. Oh no. Tigers are endangered. About 100 years ago, there were 100,000 tigers in the wild. Today, there are less than 3,500. There are 5 different kinds of tigers today. There are the Bengal tigers, South China, Indo-Chinese, Sumatran, and Siberian tigers. 3 other kinds of tigers have already become extinct. And extinct, boys and girls, means that it's no longer living, kind of like a dinosaur. Sad. We already read about you. Why are tigers disappearing? Tigers are losing their habitat, the places where they live. People cut down trees. Tigers live and find food in the forests. When forests disappear, so do tigers. People also kill tigers for their body parts. Their skins are used for rugs. Other parts are used to make traditional Chinese medicines. Killing tigers is against the law, but it still happens today. It's sad. All right. So this is a South China tiger, and it says, what do you get when you cross a tiger with a snowman? The answer is frostbite. Helping tigers. I wonder how we can help tigers. So, though tigers are in trouble, there is good news. New forest areas for tigers have been found. Also, people are planting trees where forests have been cut down. You can help too. Tell your family and friends about what you've learned. We can all work together to keep tigers on our planet. That's good. All right, so stump your parents. If you want to stump your parents, feel free to stop and take this quiz. This has to do with all the information you just learned about these tigers. So go ahead and feel free to pause this video right now so you can take a look with your family member. All right, good job, boys and girls. We're gonna move on. Here is what we call a glossary. Now, boys and girls, a glossary is gonna be a specific type of text feature we find in a nonfiction text, where it gives you a definition for a word that we need to know. So camouflage, for example, remember we learned about how, I talked about how a chameleon will camouflage itself and change its color to adapt to its environment around it. So it will become prey. Camouflage, it says here, an animal's natural color, or form that blends in with what is around it. Extinct, a group of animals no longer living, just like the dinosaur there. Prey, Prey, an animal that is eaten by another animal. Endangered, at risk of dying out. Habitat, the place where a plant or animal naturally lives. And last but not least, territory, an area that an animal protects from other animals. So we've learned a lot about our friends, the tigers, today, and I hope you enjoyed your time with me, and I can't wait to see you again tomorrow. Your job right now, boys and girls, is to go on to something like Epic or Raz Kids and try to find a nonfiction text. Read for 15, 20 minutes. You can do it. I know you can. Just take a look around, find a nonfiction text, and learn something new. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.